For decades, whispers followed Michael Jackson, rumors of secret children, mysterious relatives, and a hidden DNA test that could change everything. But one voice remained silent: Gladys Knight, the Empress of Soul and Jackson family confidant. Now, at 80, she's finally speaking out. In a rare and emotional interview, Gladys confirms what fans and insiders have only speculated. The truth involves a private DNA test, a shocking request from Michael himself, and a family secret buried deep in Motown history. What she reveals isn't just about genetics, it's about identity, loyalty, and a promise she kept for over 30 years. Born on May 28, 1944, in Atlanta, Georgia, Gladys Knight grew up surrounded by music, faith, and strong family values. Known as a child prodigy, she began singing gospel music in her church at just 4 years old. By age 8, she won the famed Ted Mack's Original Amateur Hour, gaining early recognition for her powerful voice. Alongside her siblings and cousins, she formed the Pips, a group that would later become Gladys Knight and the Pips. Their tight harmonies, smooth choreography, and soulful sound earned them a solid place in the Motown lineup of legends. Throughout the 1960s and 70s, Gladys carved out a reputation not just as a performer, but as a voice of emotional honesty. With hits like Midnight Train to Georgia and Neither One of Us, she became a pillar of the soul music community. While others craved spotlight and controversy, Gladys stayed grounded in faith, family, and privacy. Her long connection to the Jackson family, especially Katherine Jackson, dates back to the early Motown days. They were peers, friends, and mutual supporters in a cutthroat industry. While she was never directly part of Michael Jackson's inner circle, she was trusted by the family, often acting as a bridge between the old-school values of Motown and the rapidly changing world around them. This deep-rooted trust is exactly why, decades later, she would be the one to finally tell the truth about a secret DNA test that Michael Jackson once quietly requested, revealing a side of him the public never knew. Expeculated. And Michael Jackson's life was always shrouded in mystery, rumors, and unanswered questions. Over the years, stories circulated about secret children, hidden relatives, and even a confidential DNA test that many believed was conducted to settle some deeply personal family matters. Throughout all this speculation, one voice remained silent, that of Gladys Knight, the Empress of Soul, and a longtime friend and confidant of the Jackson family. Now, after decades of silence, Gladys has finally come forward to reveal the truth behind the secret DNA test. Michael once quietly requested. In a recently resurfaced interview from 2024, Gladys Knight disclosed that Michael reached out to her in the early 2000s with a personal and private request. This request was not about his music or public image, but about his own identity and family history. Michael believed there might be a blood connection between his family and hers, a connection rumored to have existed through generations in their shared southern roots. These whispers had never been confirmed, but Michael wanted to know for sure, seeking clarity about his lineage and legacy. The request was delicate and needed to remain private. Michael insisted that the DNA test be conducted discreetly, without public knowledge or media attention. Gladys agreed to help him, not out of curiosity, but out of friendship and compassion. A private geneticist was brought in, and samples from both Michael and Gladys were analyzed to see if they shared a common ancestor, likely through their maternal lines. The results, while not definitive, indicated a strong probability of a familial connection due to limitations in available genetic material from Michael's ancestors. The test was inconclusive, but the markers showed a significant chance that they were related through distant great-grandparents. When Michael received the results, he neither celebrated nor mourned, but simply remarked, "That explains a lot." This understated reaction revealed the depth of his lifelong search for identity and belonging. To the public, Michael Jackson was an enigmatic figure, often misunderstood. and surrounded by controversy. Yet, as Gladys explained, he was also a man quietly grappling with his roots and sense of self. For Michael, sharing lineage with someone like Gladys Knight, a figure known for strength, faith, and soulful integrity, was more than biology. It represented a connection to heritage, to truth, and to something stable in a life often marked by upheaval. Gladys Knight revealed that Michael's motivation for the DNA test was never about fame, inheritance, or public validation. Instead, it was a deeply personal journey toward understanding his own identity. He wasn't trying to prove anything to the world, she said. He just wanted to know if the blood in his veins came from a place of strength and truth. In Gladys, Michael found someone who embodied those qualities, and he hoped that the test would affirm a shared legacy. For many years, Gladys kept this secret to herself. Despite rampant speculation by tabloids and biographers, she felt it was not her story to tell. However, as she approached the later years of her career and life, she decided it was time to honor Michael's quiet quest for truth. Her intention was not to sensationalize but to humanize the story, to reveal the emotional and spiritual side of a man often portrayed as larger than life. She recalled one poignant phone call from Michael just months before his death in 2009. He told her, "If I had grown up in your house, maybe I wouldn't feel so, lost." Those words were not a criticism of the Jackson family but a glimpse into his deep longing for belonging and inner peace. It was a reflection of how much he yearned for a sense of home and acceptance. While the DNA test did not alter any legal documents or official family trees, it deepened the bond between Michael and Gladys. It shed new light on his personal struggles and framed him not just as a pop icon, but as a man on a lifelong journey to understand who he truly was. Gladys ended the interview by saying that Michael didn't need a test to know who he was, but perhaps he needed to feel it on a deeper level. The test was a symbol of that feeling, a validation of strength, truth, and shared history. This story goes beyond celebrity gossip or scandal. It is about identity, connection, and the quiet search for belonging that touches us all. In the end, the secret DNA test represents more than genetics. It is a testament to the invisible threads that bind people across time and space, threads of blood, culture, and spirit. Through this revelation, Gladys Knight not only honors Michael Jackson's legacy but also reminds us of the universal human need to understand where we come from and who we truly are.